Hey, it's Yolanda at Dryerbuzz, and of course, Dryerbuzz.com. I want to give you some thoughts to think about if you are ready to start blogging for business. And this is a follow up to the workshop that we got a chance to do for a B2B and business to business and meeting networking, but they were worried about their customer in this new convenience economy. And of course, many people are out. You're going to conferences, you're going to industry related events, and you're hearing that you need to do more in social media, that you need to start blogging for business. And you've been trying to figure out, well, what does that mean? Is it something that I need to do? Is it something I need to outsource? Is it something I could do? And so I want to talk about it because when I'm looking at the faces and I'm talking from a blogger's perspective, it's easy for me to be public. It's easy for me to write. I'm a writer. I'm a storyteller. But what about the plumber? What about the roofer? What about the cupcake maker? You have your passion and things you're passionate about, and you passionate about your customers and solving their problems. But what I want to talk to you about, if you're going to start blogging for your business, I want you to think of it in the simplest terms there are. And that is, if you can send an email, then you can blog about your business. I want you to think about it. Are you answering questions now in email? Do you have an email list that you send out? Do you get inbox and those questions? You think about it in terms of, I'm going to blog for my business by way of answering the many questions I get each and every day about becoming my customer. If somebody is looking on a business blog, they have one thing in mind: how do I become your customer? That should always be your first blog post. That should always be any and everything that you're putting out there in social media about your business. So I'm going to give you three quick things that you need to think about to help you stop overthinking, stop overanalyzing, stop being paranoid and paralyzed about blogging for your business. And we're going to really keep it simple, okay? Now, on your screen, I'm looking at a standard blog post where you would create a standard blog post. And this particular one is from WordPress, but there's so many out there now. You probably already have a website. You probably already have an e-commerce site. You have some presence online. Whether, no matter what, if you have a presence online, there's an opportunity to blog. It's all blogging. Even if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, any of the platforms, okay? They all ask for possibly three things: a headline, a title and headline, a body, and then tags, right? So those are the three things I want you to think about to help you, to stop you from overthinking. Now, really, let's pay particular attention. I'm not going to click in the sections because it's going to bring up the keyboard, but where you see me tap, see the blue taps there, that's what the area we're focusing on. Enter title here. I want you to think about the title in a number of ways. One is, I want you to make it relevant. I don't want you to over exaggerate. Don't think about it's got to be the best headline ever. But you do want to think of it as a thumb stopper. Somebody who's on their phone and they're scrolling information, whether they've done a search and your information comes up in that search along with your competition, or whether they're scrolling social media, they've followed your page on your profile on social media and they're scrolling, and I want you to think of, that's the first thing that they're going to see. And I don't want you to over exaggerate it, because I don't want you writing to try to get clicks or to try to get likes and those kinds of things, because if you do that, you might get away from the relevancy of the information that you're sharing. And you don't want somebody to click in and click out, because that's something that's measured by social media. And the amount of time when a person is scrolling and they lift their thumb, this is why we call it a thumb stopper. From the second they lift their thumb to the second they click into your post, the amount of time they spend in your post and the time that they leave out, that's measured by social media as to whether or not, the entire internet really, as to whether or not the information was relevant to what they were looking for. And so that's why you don't want to bring somebody to your post and it's not what they're looking for. So you want to pay particular attention into how you title your post. And you want to do that mainly because if I'm looking for a solution, if I'm looking for an answer, if I've got a problem, I've got some pain that I'm dealing with, that a title is the one thing that's going to connect us. All right. And you want to think about it. Number two is, what if I have a friend looking for that information? I see the information. I'm then going to do what? I'm going to share it. So you want to make sure that the title is shareable, meaning that if I share it, it stays intact, right? It stays connected to you. It stays connected to the topic. So what happens is, it might look different. The titles that you use, you don't want them to be too long, because remember, on Twitter you've got 140 characters. You want to leave room for the link. You want to leave room for, they're going to add a person's name. So you want to keep it short, okay? At least the part that's going to be visible when it's shared. You can, add on to it. Like, one of the things I do in my title is I put a short title, and then I put a spacer, and then I put a little bit more information in the title, because I know on one platform they're only going to take the first 50 characters. On another platform they're going to take the entire headline. They then will probably add the author. They'll then add the actual website. You don't overthink that right now. I want you to just keep them short and sweet, especially if it is a question. Lead with a question, all right? And when blogging for your business, you want to think about it. The information you're going to write, the information you're going to put out there, is basically to help that customer when they do call you or meet up with you or see you at a networking. You don't have to start from square one. You don't have to do as much selling, because if you put out enough information, when the customer comes to you, they're already sold. All you have to do is to initiate and close the relationship. Okay. All right. So the first thing, again, this is just something to make you think, so that you stop overthinking the fact that you should be blogging about your business. The second part I want you to think about, I'm just going to scroll down here, is the body. This box right here, it looks very much just like in an email. The only difference between blogging and writing an email is an email goes to some prescribed recipients. A blog post goes to the general public. Okay, if you put it on a public website, you can still limit it. If you're going to put that content on Facebook, you can still limit it to those who like your page, customers, and so forth. But you want information out there now that's going to the general public. In the body of the email, all right, keep in mind, again, people are scrolling on their phone and any number of devices. You want to keep very short paragraphs. Okay, I find that very short paragraphs, they read more. If they pull it up on their phone and the paragraph is a scroll and a half, they're probably not going, even as bad as they need you, if it's that much information to be consumed, they're not going to read it. Now, does that mean not to put that much information? No. It just means break it up. You want to break it up into bite-sized pieces that the reader can easily digest, because now keep in mind, this is the person that might become your customer, or this is the person that's looking for information for a friend, and they need to be able to convey the information about your business. So you want to keep them in nice bite-sized morsels, okay? Even one sentence at a time. I saw a blog post the other day, and it was actually published in tweets, and I was like, whoa. I read it all before I knew it, because it was easy on the eyes. It was easy because of the platform I was on. I think I was on my phone. It was easy on my eyes, and it read very well. So make sure to keep the body, break it up into bite-sized pieces, put in some image pictures, go a long way. Even if, and one of the things I like to do at this point, simply because podcasting is really important, I'll record myself reading it, or there are other options out there, or at least they used to be, apps that you can have that would convert any text to an audio, because some people want to listen, and so especially if it's a lot of information, you definitely want to have an audio. But don't think about it, because I don't want you overthinking. Just make sure that in that body it is relevant. You do answer the questions. You do give enough information for the person to become your customer, and just make sure that it is scroll friendly and nice bite-sized pieces, and that you have truly a beginning, a middle, and an end. If it is a lot of information that you need to put out there, try putting an excerpt or an abstract or a summary in the first paragraph. Because remember, think about how many times you Google something and you really like having the answer right there in the description. You really don't want to have to click through the post. You just got a quick question. That's how somebody that's coming to your website or clicking over, because they're already on your website, but they're clicking over to the blog section on your website and you don't have any blog posts there. So just think about that. If it is a lot of information that you need to be detailed about, put an abstract or a summary paragraph at the top, letting people know what it is you're going to talk about or you're going to explain. It's almost like a movie trailer. You go see the movie because you know in the movie trailer, oh man, they're going to cover this, and that. Have that readily available, and that too will help people keep reading. And then also maybe bold different words, because if I'm reading at the top and I see that bold word down in the middle or towards the bottom, and I know, well, that's what I want, that's the one I really want to talk about, let me skip to that and then I'll come back. That's a nice tip to use as well. The third thing we want to think about here, and I'm skipping through some things, so don't pay attention, only stop where I stop, where you see the blue mark. Tags. I want you to think about tags, because one, on a blog post, tags are visible, and tags are something that people are using across platforms. It helps people decide, it helps the system it helps the internet decide how your post is relevant to other content. That's what's going to bring people to your article about your business. The headline, particular words in the body, and those tags. Not only that, if you're on a platform where the tags you use are visible, it will allow me to filter the content that you have out there to see if you have other related content to the post that I am reading. Remember, customers today, they want to know as much as they can before they initiate the relationship, before they become the customer. So if you have an opportunity for me to learn more, I'm going to learn more. So when you're thinking about those tags, there's an external use for them and an internal use for them. The internal use is for you to keep track of which content people are using and preferring more, because you'll get data from the content that people are on and reading more. But for the external use, the customer or the reader, it's going to help them filter your site for more information. Okay, so if you have an article tagged about a particular product and I click that tag, then that tag through how the blog works is going to then show me all the products that you have about that particular tag, all the articles you have, and so forth. And then also on social media, it will put your article in with other content that's relevant to that. So those are just the three things I want you to think about if you are beginning to blog for your business, if you're going to go out and fix the social media and blogs you already have out there about your business, or if you want to use social media for business. Just start with those three things. No matter the platform, you're going to see all these other bells and whistles. Don't overthink those right now. Just start with those three things. Make sure your title is short and concise, that it is a thumb stopper. Don't over exaggerate. Okay, make sure that it's something that you understand, and make sure, because the reason you don't want to over exaggerate, because you don't want to give the customer any kind of perceptions and then they come to you and that's not what you do. If you're at a point in many business owners, because they've jumped out there in social media and they say, Yolanda, I always have to tell people that's not what I do. Well, what is your social media saying about you? What are your articles that are out there about you saying? What are the reviews out there saying? And a lot of people have to say that's not what it is. Think about it. Because when you're thinking about blogging for your business, you're either trying to use social media for business or fix your social media. And most business owners, because they knew that they had to have some social media presence, they just did it in a hurried space, did it without any consulting, certainly without any strategy. And then they find that they have to then fix their social media. And they say to me, I have to keep telling people that's not what we do. But maybe your article, something you got out there, is coming up somewhere because it's not properly titled, the verbiage in the body is not correct, and the tags are not correct? And so your information is like your phone number on the bathroom wall. Everybody's calling, but it's not the right cause. If you want to get the right cause, you want to get the right customers, then you should definitely start blogging about your business. And don't worry about taking notes. You can watch this as many times as you want. You can also go to 27answers.com and you can download 27 Answers to Rock Blogging, where we help you turn followers into customers. You can get the ebook individually, or you can get it as one of our 4-packs or 6-packs with ebooks that cover the next steps that you should do. All right, so that's it. Anything else you've seen on the page, don't worry about it. We're going to explain these other parts to blogging in a future post. Right now, I want you to concentrate on just the 3 things of the title, which is your headline. That's going to go all around the world. The body, making sure that its content is user-friendly, easier on the eyes, and it's scroll-friendly for those that, no matter what device people are on. And then, of course, the tags. All right, and you can filter the entire internet for more answers with hashtag 27 Answers. You can go to our answer blog, which is located at 27answers.com. And if you want to watch a super blogger in action, you can go to dryerbuzz.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.